So hello and welcome back to another episode of Themes for. Today I'm in my partner's C-Class. It doesn't often get featured on the channel. This is a car you don't see much of. But I want to do an episode on it today because we've had this car for around 2 years now. And I want to do a little bit of sort of a long-term review and a bit of ownership experience guide for you guys, really, and for people that are considering buying this car. It's all very well seeing reviews of this car, but not necessarily me, but my partner saw it, has actually lived with this car and I've driven it a little bit as well. So just give a little bit of a summary of our experience and how we found life with the C-Class. So this is my partner's car. It is, as I say, daily. It is a car that's done about just over 20,000 miles and it's bought so just about 10,000 miles a year, and it's a not massive mileage, but still enough. And I can't really dramatise any issues that we've had because we haven't really had any. It's been a fairly touch wood. I haven't got any wood trim or anything to touch around here, but touch wood. It's been actually quite a really reliable, safe, just generally all good all rounder as a daily. We have had only things that need doing, like we've had a couple of services, a couple of MOTs doing on it. We have had new disc and pads all round, new tyres all round. So nothing that I can necessarily blame the car for. It's all serviceable items. So tyres will wear out, brake pads do wear out, discs do wear out, And apart from the constant onslaught of fuel in the car, which isn't too bad to be fair in this car. We'll come on to MPG in a little bit as well. So the only other issue we had when we bought the car is before we paid any money, we had the car inspected at a Mercedes dealer and it had a subframe issue. Now, if you know about Mercedes of this era, they do suffer with rear subframe issues. And I will put a picture in of the hole that was in the subframe. And I think it was the suspension that was mounted to. I could be wrong, but from memory, I think the suspension is bolted to the subframe. And it was literally where you got the bolt in and the little bracket on the subframe, it literally was rusted on three sides of it. So it was actually dangerous to drive because that could have given way at any time. So I had a new subframe, courtesy of Mercedes. They basically repair and they will put a new subframe in for you, and they will also do the time for the labour on there included. So they will pay for it. You do have to go for a Mercedes dealership. I used to work at Mercedes until I got this car, and Mercedes, 99% of the time when we bought this car, will do new subframes, provided that the car's got a little bit of service history, fire's not an absolute nail, and provided that you haven't had any sort of repairs already to the subframe. So if you've had a bit of the subframe welded up, then Mercedes won't honour that warranty because someone's already done something to it, basically. And it could have been because of that welding that you've now got an issue with the subframe. But anyway, we're getting too far into subframe talk here. So you've had that replaced, courtesy of Mercedes. We have to have a new bracket fitted, another part of the car, so we paid a bit extra to have that done. But I say Mercedes covered the cost of basically the part for the subframe and also the thickness, so taking the old one out and fitting the new one. So are there any downsides to this car? Are there anything that we've sort of lived with and we thought, actually, that's quite annoying? No, I think I'd have to split hairs for you. The only thing that I would say, it is a 5-speed box. I'm used to a 7-speed in the B class, so ticket motorway speeds, when you're obviously doing 70, obviously no more because you're not allowed to do any more than that. It just revs a little bit higher, and you're using a little bit more fuel in that. If you had 7-speed, then it'd be revving a little bit less, so you're getting a slightly better MPG, but that's splitting hairs. I found I've used the Bluetooth before, and I do find it's very quiet when I actually have on the phone to someone. It's very, very quiet, and I can't seem to figure out how to turn. I tried on my phone, I was trying on here, I just couldn't quite seem to get the volume up high enough. So when you're driving along, you got road noise and engine noise and all that sort of stuff. The only other thing I found, we have got a bit of a solution for this, and it's just in the glove box here, is that you do have Bluetooth, but you can't play any music on the Bluetooth. So what I've bought is one of these, just a wire. You've got an aux socket. I don't have an aux socket every single car, but this car has an aux socket in the glove box. So you've got an aux socket one end, and we have iPhones, so we have a lightning cable on that end, and then you can play the music for the aux socket, and it all works. It seems to be fine. And it just means you can play your own music or listen to a podcast or whatever you want. So let's put that back before I lose it. I suppose the only other thing is that this is the 2.1 litre turbo diesel engine, 4 cylinder. They are absolutely bomb proof, and I have done a guide, buyer's guide on this car, so please do go and look at that. There's a bit more detail about all the issues and things to look out for. And I think that is definitely the best all round. I suppose the only downside with it is a little bit wet-leak, particularly compared to my B-Class part next door, and particularly compared to the newer 2 litre diesel engine. Never came out when this car was around, it came out afterwards. So that's the only little thing. It's a little bit warm, a little bit noisy, but, and we'll come on to the MPG of this car now and the economy of it. I've had as high as 49.5 on average, which for the age of car, this car's getting on for nearly, this car's 18 years old this year, and getting a car's getting for 20 years old now. So I think that's really good. I think that's a really good figure you can actually live with, and that was doing a bit of combination, a bit of aero driving, and a little bit of motor 8 driving as well, and going for some roadworks on the motor at 50. So that was about 100-mile round trip I did, and I was really impressed. And bear in mind that 49.5 is an average, so I've obviously done a little bit more than that, I've obviously been a bit less as well. So I think as an overall car and as an overall engine choice, I think that is a really good engine. I really think that, again, they are known for being bomb proof, essentially. As long as you look after them, you service them regularly, and if they need repairs along the way, just go along with it. As I mentioned in my previous buyer's guide that I didn't, this for me is the best all-rounder. Some of the petrol in a lot more thirsty. You can get a V6 diesel if you wanted the extra power, but there's not necessarily much in it really, I don't think. And for everyday driving, do you really need the extra power? This for me is quick enough. You've got relatively good fuel economy. The tax is okay for a car this age. It is before sort of the blue efficiency era that Mercedes did, and they really did a lot of fine tuning on the engine to make them greener and low emissions and all that. That's probably about 2010, I think, they started to do that. But as an all-rounder, I think this is the best engine that you can get, and that's just my opinion. I'm sure other people might disagree or agree with that, whichever your viewpoint is. My partner regularly uses it, goes down towards London way. She also goes to work. I can't remember the name of the place now, somewhere in the N25. So it is ULEZ compliant. This car is really good. We did go down to Heathrow when we went to Stuttgart for a few days, and we took this car purely because this car is ULEZ compliant. As opposed to my B-Class that isn't, even though the B-Class is low in emissions, does more miles per gallon, so it's not burning as much fuel, but that's not ULEZ apparently. I mean, if you can explain that one to me, please do. But anyway, went to went to Heathrow, parked this car for a few days, and it was absolute joy. I drove it on the way back when we got back in the evening, and yeah, it's a really nice long distance cruise, and that's the one thing I like about this car. It sort of does everything very well. So overall, we're both really happy with this car. It's definitely going to be something that we're keeping for long term now. I say it's only on 93,000 miles. There's still plenty of miles left in this car. So I used to work at Mercedes dealer, and this car came as part exchange. And my job role was to deal with all the part exchanges that came in. So I sort of said to them, part this car's in if you want to go and look around it, and we did. So I think it's one of the best purchases that she's made. I'm not really one for blowing my own trumpet, but if I did have a trumpet here right now, I think I'd possibly play a little tune on it. So I think I've done all right on that. So anyway, it's going to be goodbye from me, goodbye from the C-Class, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.